Let's talk about niacin, vitamin B3, and schizophrenia. Now, there's some fascinating information on this topic. Schizophrenia is a combination of having hallucinations, delusions, paranoia, mixed with feeling disconnected, loss of interest in life, and feeling emotionless, which basically is you're apathetic. Now, the medical theory of what causes schizophrenia is you have dopamine excess, and so you're given certain drugs to help regulate that. The problem with those drugs is it has certain side effects that cause metabolic syndrome and insulin resistance, which has been shown to worsen these symptoms because of what it does to the brain. So as a side note, there's some great data, I'll put some links down below, of how ketones, going on the ketogenic diet, can help reduce those symptoms, but that's not part of this video, it's a side note. However, there was a doctor named Dr. Abram Hoffer some years ago who had a different theory. And that theory was called the adrenochrome theory. Adrenochrome is basically the byproducts of adrenaline. And in his research, he found that the chemical structure of adrenaline was very similar to LSD. And so it had certain types of effects on the brain if it was in higher amounts. So his whole theory was that schizophrenia comes from excessive amounts of adrenochrome in the brain, which is toxic. Now, normally you're supposed to have an enzyme that clears that chemical out. And people with schizophrenia have a defect with this enzyme. So he found that by taking large doses of B3, and I'm talking about straight niacin, I'm not talking about the time-release niacin, the one that doesn't give you the flush. There's more side effects with that one rather than just take straight B3 niacin. But anyway, he found that by taking large doses of niacin, you can prevent the conversion of the precursor for adrenaline called noradrenaline, thereby making less adrenaline. So it will help clear out adrenaline. It helps you produce less adrenaline, which can be toxic to the brain, especially if you have a defect to this enzyme. But also B3 will reduce liver toxicity. It will help reduce oxidative stress in your mitochondria, as well as help your DNA repair. There were several double-blinded studies that were done. One of the studies showed a 79.5% improvement in symptoms. Now, he died some years ago, but recently there were some other additional studies that were done to show improvements with schizophrenia using high doses of not just B3, but other B vitamins as well. I'll put that research down below. Hey, before you leave, I just wanted to give you a little quick history on some of the books that I wrote. This was one of the first books. It's called Dr. Berg Body Shapes. It was my attempt at writing about body types. What was very interesting about this book is I actually did all the images myself. Don't ask me why. They look actually not quite as professional as some of the images that I have in the new book. But anyway, this is my first attempt right here called Dr. Berg's Body Shape Diets. And then I wrote a book more extensive called The 7 Principles of Fat Burning. I don't even have a copy anymore, actually, because it's outdated. The next book, I put about 1,000 hours into this one right here called The New Body Type Guide. Major updates on the body types. I put a lot of energy into this. It has professional images, graphics, all sorts of things. Now, the problem with this book is it doesn't really describe what this is really about. Body types are only a small portion of what's in this book. And that's why I changed the name to the Healthy Keto Plan, okay? If you happen to have this book, you don't really need this book because there's some only very, very minor updates. But if you don't have this, you need to get this one right here. This book goes into every single detail that you would ever want to know about. It goes into the 7 principles of fat burning. It goes into hormones, the body types, the basic keto plan. It goes into intermittent fasting. I talk about the 10 fat burning triggers and blockers and fat burning strategies with a lot of details in every single chapter. I go into body issues that interfere with losing weight. There's very few people that just have a weight problem. They have a lot of body issues, whether it's sleeping problems, stress problems, inflammation, menopause, I cover that extensively in this book. Then I talk about how to get rid of stress, and I show you a technique. Then I get into exercising. And then I have a lot of really good recipes in this book as well. So this is a good reference guide. On my website, if you get this book, you get this one free. It's called Healthy Keto Intermittent Fasting. This is the shortcut, quick guide to this book. And the reason I created this book is to have you, within 45 minutes, learn how to do keto, okay, in intermittent fasting, exactly what you need to do. Then you can fill in the blanks with this book right here. So right now I'm doing a special. If you get this book, you get this one totally free, or you can go to Amazon and get these individually. So I just want to clarify the difference between this book and this updated one right here. If you don't have this, you need to get this right here. That way you can get the exact correct information to do it healthily.